Hey everyone, this is the last lesson of Single and Content. Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about how do you know when you found the one. You know, my husband and I, we often talk to people who they've been single for a while and then they get into a relationship and they're just like, is he the one? Is she the one? Am I with the right one? And they're just nervous and they don't want to jump into marriage because they want to make sure that they are with the person that God has ordained for them. And so today we're going to give you some just practical steps, and we're going to give you guys some wisdom so that you can recognize when you are in a relationship whether or not you have found the one. And the first one that we would say is, do they bring you closer to God?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You know, the Bible teaches us, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character.
Yeah, that's so good.
And so the first way to know that you found the one is whether or not they pull you closer to the things of God.
Good.
Do they challenge you? Do they inspire you? Do they fight for the same convictions as you? You know, like my husband and I, when we were dating, we both wanted to practice sexual purity because this is something that the Bible teaches. And so do they share the same convictions? Do their convictions draw you closer to the presence of God? Or do their lack of convictions pull you away from the presence of God?
That is so good, babe. And the second thing, love, that I would say is this, is that do they accept your past?
Yeah, that's
You know, the Bible teaches us in 1 Corinthians 13 that love does not bring up a record of wrongs. You see, oftentimes when you want to move forward in a relationship, it's hard to move forward when your partner keeps bringing up the past.
Yeah.
And for some of you who may not know my wife's story, she was in the adult film industry for 7 years.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it when I had the conversation with my wife about her past. And I remember this conversation that we had. The first thing is that I had this conversation with God, and God would say, Richard, if you can't accept her past, then you have no right to walk in the future with her.
So good.
You see, in order for our relationship to blossom, in order for our relationship to prosper, I had to accept her past. You see, my wife is not a product of her past, but that doesn't mean that she does not have a past.
Right.
So I had to learn to literally pass over the past, okay?
Yeah.
And I had to move forward. And I really believe that most relationships get hindered by this point right here because they don't accept their partner's past. So here's what happens. Since they don't accept what they've done in the past, they start bringing things up. Well, do you remember when you messed with her? Or do you remember when you messed with him? And blah, 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 blah. It's all these things coming up about the past. And it's like, man, you were bringing that up from years ago. I wasn't even with you then. What are you talking about? But since you could not accept their past, it hindered your present. I want to encourage you today. Find someone who will accept you, who will love you at all. You see, I love my wife, past, present, and future. This is my best friend. And you know what? She's not a product of her past. She's a product of God's grace. I love her, and I'm always going to be there for her. So make sure you find somebody who accepts your past.
That is so beautiful. And the third question that you should ask when determining whether or not you found the one is, do you have peace in your spirit?
Come on.
You know, the Bible teaches us that God is not the author of confusion.
So good.
He is the author of peace. In fact, Jesus is known as the Prince of Peace, and his presence lives within you. He dwells within your heart. And so if you don't have peace, that is a clear sign that God is giving you a yellow or a red flag warning to just get out of there.
Yep.
In all of the relationships that I was in before my amazing husband, I used to get this little question in me. What am I doing with this person? I should just leave. And then I would reason, no, Brittany, just stay. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, what if you're supposed to be with this person forever? And I would just reason and I would justify. But can I tell you that what that actually was, those thoughts and those questions, that was God saying, Brittany,
Gosh, so
are you
good.
sure you're
So
with the
good.
right one?
So
You know,
good.
it was God trying to get me to dig deep within myself to question why I was really with that person. But because I was so afraid to be alone, I would just reason and I would justify. Now, let me tell you something that's so beautiful. This is what peace looks like. Before my husband and I started dating, I was like, this is the man I want to be with. And then when we started dating, I had total and complete peace. Never once was there a question in my mind as to whether or not I was marrying the right person. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was marrying the man that not only that I wanted, but that God had ordained for me. There was not one bit of question. I knew that he was the one. And that's what peace looks like. Peace looks like certainty. Peace looks like your mind and your heart are in alignment. There's no confusion. There's no doubt. There is complete peace. And that's what I had with you. And you will have that when you are with the right one.
That's so good. I always say this, babe. If you don't have peace in your spirit,
don't get near it.
Just don't get near it. You know what I mean, y'all? The next thing that I would say, babe, is does he or she honor and respect your boundaries? You know, if you're trying to walk, say, for instance, in sexual purity and you want to wait, you know, to be intimate with someone before marriage, does he or she honor your boundaries? Or every time that you bring it up to him or her, do they kind of, you know, press the line a little bit, press the button? They're saying, you know, well, what do you mean? Why can't we do this? Or why can't we do this? And they're always trying to like tempt you, or they're always trying to question your boundary. I would really question that relationship that you're in, because, you know, someone who honors you and someone who loves you and someone who's for you, they're going to honor your boundaries. And not only they're going to honor your boundaries, but even in the bigger picture, love, they're going to honor God. Because that boundary is you honoring God. And I want to remind you here today, if you're around somebody, right, who keeps questioning your boundaries and not honoring that, what it really shows you is that they don't really value you. You might be saying, well, Rich, if I don't cross this line and they say in sexual purity and this boundary, they're going to leave me. Well, friends, guess what?
Let them leave.
Open the door, let them leave. You know why? Because people who are for you will wait for you. And you might be saying, nah, Rich, yes, I'm telling you, you people will wait. I am a shoe fanatic, if you guys don't know about that. I love shoes, and I'm telling you, when there's a new release going out, trust me, I will wait online, or I'll wait at that store because I really want that shoe. Why? Because I value it. You see, when your partner values you, they're going to wait for you. They're going to honor you. They're going to respect you. Why? Because there is no greater blessing in their life, you know, for, you know, you to be in their life. So in other words, like just the blessing of having you is like, man, you're worth the wait, or man, you know, she's worth the wait. So I'd really encourage you here today, make sure that they honor and respect your boundaries.
That's so good. And the last one is, do you have godly confirmation? You know, is your circle of influence, your godly circle of influence, are they in agreement with your relationship, or are they like, what are you doing? You could do so much better. Like, what is your godly circle of influence saying? Because the Bible teaches us that in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. See, the funny thing is, before me and you started dating, we had so many different people from our church coming up to us like, you guys would be so good together.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You're acting like you're brand new.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we had our pastors saying that. And then when we were together, everybody was like, yes, this is a God-ordained relationship. Like, we had so much godly confirmation. We even had your family with godly confirmation. And so, do you have that godly confirmation? Remember, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. If you want to safeguard your relationship, then make sure that you have wise counsel that is confirming that for you.
And that's so good, babe. And just to add on to that, when there's confirmation, there's flow. So when something is forced, it doesn't flow. And I've noticed that, you know, sometimes in relationships, you'll try to force a relationship to happen. You're like, oh, but I really want this person, right? But when there's godly confirmation, it just flows. Just the way David was anointed to be king, okay? It just flowed, okay? Samuel didn't have to try to maneuver things or do anything. No, when David came into his presence, the anointing just flowed. And I want to tell you here today that you know that you're in the right relationship when you have that godly confirmation and it just flows. There needs to be a flow in your relationship. Like my wife and I, as we're talking, babe, there's a flow to our relationship. And when there's a flow to your relationship, y'all, oh my God, there's no telling what God won't do in your guys' life, because there's just this godly flow and this godly confirmation in your life.
Yes. So, guys, we're so excited that you have taken on this course with us. And we're also sad. It's bittersweet because today's the very last lesson. But you can watch these videos again and again. And if these videos, if these lessons have blessed you, please do us a favor and send over the link, lovealwaysministries.com. Send it over to your friends so that they can sign up too, because we just want to be a blessing to you guys. We love you so much, and we're sad to say goodbye, but we will see you around on social media and website.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and we pray it was a blessing for your life.
My husband and I just recently founded lovealwaysministries.com, and it is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we are dedicated to helping people discover God's love, walk in their calling, and leading through purity.
Yes.
And we want to continue to just give out all of this free content for you guys. And so in order to do so, our ministry is run off donations. And so we ask that if this video has blessed you today, that you just head on over to lovealwaysministries.com/donate and give today, because we cannot do what we do without you.
Hey guys, we love and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for all that you do. We're continually praying for you right here at Love Always Ministries. God bless you.